All right, guys, we can start. Let's start in Sukhasana. Mr. Darcy, so funny. So you guys cross your legs at your mid-shins. And then lean over one side to the other. Adjust the upper hamstring, lower buttock. Rotate out, draw back. Do that on both sides. You want to see that your two sit bones have moved away from one another. Center of your kneecaps move out towards the top of your mat. Bring your fingertips to your blankets, your mat. Press down into your blankets or your mat and lift your side rib cage, but relax your outer knees and your outer hips. Draw your abdominal wall back. You can bring your hands together at your heart center. Close your eyes. Begin to center yourselves using your breath. It's Ujjayi breathing here. It's audible inhalation, audible exhalation. Again, you want to bring the very tops of your shoulders down away from your earlobes. I'll chant Om, join in, or you're welcome to just listen. Exhale your breath. Bow your head by bringing your chin to the groove of your neck. Bring your hands to the very tops of your legs. Center your head. And as you exhale the breath, slowly open the eyes and release the hands. Very good, guys. Go ahead and come to the top edge of your blankets if you're using blankets. I'm going to use my 2 blocks. So I'm going to bring 1 block outside of the right leg, 1 block in the left hand, shift the torso forward, right fingertips on the block. The left hand is holding the block. Move the block under the left hand out in front of you first. And then as you exhale, keep the torso there and move the left arm over to the right hand side of your mat. Walk your fingertips towards the very top edge of your mat. Relax your outer knees, relax your outer legs, your outer hips. Draw your outer left foot down into your mat and bring your back left rib cage away from your spine. Grip over your block, bring it back towards you, and we'll uncross the legs and recross. So cross opposite. And then again, adjust the buttock flesh. I'm going to leave the block right outside of the left leg. Take the block in the right hand. Fingertips, left fingertips against the block. You want to press and lift the left side rib. Move the block in the right hand first, straight out in front of you. Line the front rib cage up with the inner knees. And then as you exhale, move your block over to the left. Don't move the torso, just move the block, move the right arm to the left. Once you get that, bring your fingers together and walk out till you get your fingertips towards the top edge of your yoga block. With your left fingertips, press into the block and move your weight over to the right. And then grip over the block and bring it back towards you. Perfect, perfect. Go ahead, let's stretch our legs out in front. And then again, adjust the lower buttock. Draw out back. You want to bring the inner ankle bones together, the inner heels together, and the base of the big toe joint. You can use a strap if you need to. Otherwise, extend the arms out. Bring the upper leg bones down. Bring your shin bones and your center heels down. Reach forward, grab your feet, or bring your strap around your feet. Inhale, lift your side body, shoulders down. Exhale, widen your elbows out to the sides. Take the inner thighs and stretch them out towards your outer legs and fold. So you're not just widening or spreading your front rib cage, but your back rib cage and your inner thighs are extending out. Your outer body's tucking in. Even your outer rib cage tucks in, and then stretch the very top of your head towards your feet. Inhale, lift up, really try to get that length in your side ribs. and exhale, release. So where we want to go, guys, is as we move forward, we don't want to let the abdominal or the chest become hollow and roll back like this. So you want to lift up and continue to spread as you reach for the feet. One more time of Pashi. Adjust the buttock flesh. The feet will move back. So 1 foot at a time, but you want your feet even at the end. Extend the arms out, lift the side ribs, but bring your legs down. Grab the heels of your feet or bring your strap to the heels of your feet. Lift your side ribs as you extend up. Exhale, bend your elbows out. Take your inner ankle bones, draw them out. Press out through the very tips of your elbows as you fold forward. Go to your inner knees here as you're folding forward. Draw your inner knee flesh down towards your mat. Wing your elbows out and then almost up towards the ceiling. Spread your back rib cage. Spread your front rib cage. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, release. Perfect. Perfect. Go ahead and come to the very edge, top edge of your blankets if you're using blankets. You can even sit on top of a block if you don't have blankets, or your mat is perfectly fine. Go ahead and separate your feet here just a little bit, and I'm going to bend the left knee, bring the very top of the left foot over right underneath the right hamstring. So make sure your left kneecap center of the mat. Lean over to the left. Use your fingertips on your mat. Bring your right foot over. Place your outer right foot. Line it up with your outer left thigh. Hold your knee, your outer right knee with both hands. Draw the knee in. Let the right sit bone come up. So guys, know the foot should come all the way down. So this outer ankle bone and your outer calf, instead of this, should move all the way away, even if the bottom comes up. Now, take your L shape with your right hand. Hold the outer right knee with your left hand. Draw the outer right hip towards the inner left knee. Lift the spine, twist to the right. So use the L shape of your right hand, guys. Draw the outer right hip down. Move it towards the inner left knee. Lift the chest. Make sure you're pressing into your right foot, especially the inner right foot. Now, draw your outer right hip back. Look to the right. Exhale, gaze to the center and release. Stretch the legs out. So it's really important for that outer hip to move down towards the inner bottom knee. So the feet, again, separate. This time you'll bend the right knee, and that right foot, top of the right foot, lines up right underneath the left sitting bone. So that right kneecap tucks in. So not here, but tucks in. When you lean over to the right, use your fingertips, bring the left foot over. Go ahead and both hands draw in. So you bring that outer ankle bone and the outer left calf or left shin away from the right thigh. Lift the chest, take the L shape this time with your left hand, extend that outer hip down, bring the left sitting bone down, twist to the left. Keep drawing that outer left hip towards your inner right knee. Make sure you're in your left foot, completely inside of your inner left foot. Great, great, great. Now, draw your outer your outer left knee back behind you as you look deeper to the left. And then exhale, gaze to the center and release. Stretch the legs out. So guys, again, when we're doing this, let's see, we'll try something different. Separate the feet once more. We'll go again. Left knee bends. Eye of the left kneecap, top of your mat, move over. This time we'll draw this leg in, this outer hip in, press through the foot. I want you to lean in as if you're gonna stand on the right foot. Take the left arm up, hook it right outside of the right thigh. Draw the outer right thigh back, look to the right, okay? So it's the left knee that's bent, center of the left kneecap, moves out towards the top of the mat. I want you guys to lean forward as if you're gonna stand up on your right foot. So lean forward, So instead of here, we want to lean forward as if we're going to stand completely up on the right foot. Take the left arm up right next to your ear. Draw your outer right leg in, twist. Hook the back of your left armpit all the way outside of the knee. Open the left palm to the right. Draw the outer right hip behind you. Look to the right. You can take your right arm behind you, all the way kind of behind the left hip. And then exhale, release, extend the legs and switch sides. So if you were going to stand, so now it's the right knee that bends, kneecap faces forward here. If you were going to stand here, you'd have to move your weight forward. You cannot stand with your torso leaning behind your leg bones. You'd have to move your weight forward as if you're going to put weight onto your left foot. So have that action of weight in the foot, lean in as if you're going to stand. Then hold the knee with the left hand, the outer left knee, right arm up, twist to the left, hook the back of the armpit, go all the way to the outer part of your armpit here. Again, make sure that you've got all of your weight inside of your foot. The foot that's crossed over, make sure that you could stand up on that foot if you needed to. Look to the left. Look to the left. Draw the outer left hip back. Take the left arm further behind your back. Put weight in your inner foot. Lean in. Reach into your inner left foot as if you're going to stand. And then exhale, gaze to the center and release. Perfect. Straighten the legs out. Excelente. One more forward fold. I'm going to move the buttock flesh. Separate the feet. Bend the right knee. I want to put the right toes on top of the mat or on the blanket. Roll through the very top of the right ankle, right shin bone down, right knee to the right. Left leg is out in front. I want you to twist to the left. Lean forward. You can hook the back of the right arm outside of the left leg, twist to the left. And as you exhale, you'll turn your gaze towards your left knee and grab your left foot with one hand or two. Place your nose on your left knee, guys. Your right sitting bone, your right buttock is grounded. So the right knee bends, very top of the right foot stairs if you're going to stand on the right shin bone. Draw the outer left hip back. Twist your spine to the left. Lean in, hook the back of your right arm, bend your elbow, hook it outside of the left knee. Draw into the outer knee, drag the outer hip back. Keep that twist. Release the outer arm from the outer knee and grab the left foot. Turn just your gaze towards your knee or your shin. Bring your forehead to your shin bone or your left knee. Great. Don't let your right sitting bone come up, guys. Actually, draw your outer upper right leg and your outer right buttock flesh down. And then inhale up. Perfect. And exhale, release. Excellent. Excellent. So when we do Janu Sirsasana, what we don't want to do from behind, right, watch. It's that. So I continue to say that this upper leg and this buttock flesh here must come down, draw down, and then you're twisting your spine. So you need the grounding in both of your sitting bones or both of your upper legs. So let's do the left side. So left knee bends. Take the left knee as far out as you can. Right leg is in front. Adjust the flesh. Twist the torso to the right. Lean in. Hook the back of the arm. Continue to twist to the right. Keep your twist. Release the left hand. Grab the foot. Turn the gaze, the face towards the right knee. Grab with the right hand. Nose to the shin or nose to the knee. Now move your weight over to your left. Move your weight over to your left. Move your weight into your upper left hip. Great, 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 great. It draws down. Great. And then inhale, stretch up or lift up, and exhale to release. Perfect. Extend the legs out in front of you. And I know we're going crazy, but just one more seated fold. So I'm going to separate the legs once more and then adjust the buttock flesh. Sit on a block if you need to, or go back to maybe top of the foot on the mat. Then lean over to my left, bring the right toes, kind of drag the toes along the mat. I want that right external rotation, upper leg. Watch the right knee, guys. It goes out. And then as you do this, you want to grab behind your outer right heel, draw it forward, and then bring that right knee down. It can also come to your block, or it can come to under your shin bone, your outer knee. You've got to level your hips. So if your position is here, check your hip points, and you're going to square your hip points towards your left foot, both of them, especially the right one. Reach forward if you can, but your right hip point, guys, watch one more time. It does not go this way, and your attempt is here. But that right hip point rotates all the way into that inner left knee, and then you come forward. It's another head to knee pose, or Janu, right? So get as many of your toes down. Take the hands to the back of the heel. Draw the inner heel forward, right side. Inner right heel forward. Use both hands. Good. Now, if you need support, add a block underneath your right shin or your right knee, but adjust your left hip. So your left leg bone has to go into the hip socket. And then turn your right hip point towards your left knee. And then continue to reach down and grab the foot if you can. Perfect. 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 Use the right arm, kind of swing it around, using the right hip point, grab the foot. And then inhale up, exhale, release. Perfect. 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 Now, listen, we don't think that this has a lot to do, I don't know what we think, but it has a lot to do with external rotation, right? So another way that you can do this is separate the feet. And once you bend, you can each kind of go underneath that leg and do that rotation yourself with both of your hands. But your left knee, guys, it's not here. If your knee is here, you're not fully externally rotated at your hip joint, right? And so we want to be able to go watch the external rotation. Do you see? Here. Down at the lateral left buttock flesh, down. And then take your time to get into the base of your toe joints, right? And when you bring your left leg forward, instead of moving forward here, you want to draw that right hip. It's the right hip back. Now, left hip point needs to turn towards the right knee, and then come forward, or stay tall, but your outer knee needs to be against the prop or against the yoga mat, and your right leg, which is your straight leg, that upper leg bone tucks back into your hip socket. Yeah, tucks back, good. So pull the hip point towards the straight knee. That's it. Okay, guys, release. Except you, Diana, because you're just getting there. So if you just got there, don't release. Okay, go ahead and let's move our props over to the side. And I'm going to take Adho Mukha Virasana. So I'm going to come on top of the shins, on the top of the feet. So shin bones down. Now watch, I can move back a little bit, but I kind of want to bring, I do want to bring the front of my ankles down, tuck my outer heels in, and bring my heel bones directly underneath my sits bones. I don't want to do this as I come forward, but watch, really stretch down, walk your arms out so that you're not concaving the chest, or you're not concaving the abdominals, but really get the arms out there, and you'll press with your shins. Keep your elbows and your wrists lifted. Bring your forehead down. Then begin to rotate your shoulder blades away from your spine. So as much length as you can possibly get in your spine here. Remember, your anchor is your upper leg bone. So your femur bones, press your shin bones and see if you can press the tops of your feet. Now move your chest up towards your chin, guys. So if there is a rounding in your spine, you want to concave the upper back. Keep your elbows lifted. And then you can bend the elbows and let the elbows rest on the mat. And then go ahead, guys, and you can bring yourselves up here. Very good. So go ahead and come up, and we'll come to dog pose. I'm going to move my blanket over to the side. Comes hands and knees. Separate the knees. Take the knees back. I'll come up. This is not where we want to go with our dog, but watch. You want to use your hands, not your fingers, but the heel of your hands, and you press your weight back until you get length all along the sides of your arms, backs of your arms, sides of your ribs, sides of your outer hips, outer knees, and outer feet. Okay? So really lengthen out the dog. The one way you can do this is if your heels are easily against your mat, lift your heels slightly and wiggle your legs back. If your heels are grounded and they're easily grounded, lift your heels, move your legs back, and then press with your hands. Great. Great. Don't arch your low back, guys. So you want to keep drawing your lower abdominal wall up, moving your belly button back, and again, get maximum length in the sides and backs of your arms. Your hip points lift up so they come up. Your arches of your feet go up. Your ankle bones, inner ankle bones lift up, and your inner thighs stretch up as well. And then exhale, come down and rest. So again, you can go back to a resting Adho Mukha, Virasana, or you can come kneeling or just sitting on the heels to rest. One more time. Go ahead and come up again here. And this time when I come up, I'm going to come up onto the tippy toes. And what I want you guys to do is when you come onto your tippy toes, I want you to lift your arches, lift your inner ankle bones, lift your inner, how do you guys lift? So you're pressing through the base of your toe joints, but you're lifting through your inner legs all the way up to the inner groin. You'll try to maintain that lift and bring your heels down. So if you lose the lift, what that will look like is this. Do you see? So you're lifting as you're on your tippy toes, lift your inner arches, lift your inner ankle bones, your inner knees, and your inner thighs up, and then press your weight back. Now keep your bottom just as lifted as it was when you were on your tippy toes. Keep the bottom lifted. Exhale the breath. Bring your calves down into your center heel. Use your calves. Guys, move your chest towards your chin. So you want to keep moving your breastbone up and extending your spine. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Great. And then exhale, go ahead and come down for a moment. Just come kneeling and we'll come up to standing. So I'm going to grab my 2 blocks and I'll put those blocks out in front of me and I'll step 1 foot or right out to the side, but I'll step up 1 foot at a time and I've got my feet a little bit wide. I want to take the outer feet to the blocks, draw the inner ankle bones out to the block, press with my hands as if I'm going to push my feet off of the mat using my hands and fold, fold. So Uttanasana. And again, we don't want to do this. So you have to kind of trust that your heels are grounded as you move your weight into the padding of your toes or the base of your toe joints. Okay, so 1 foot up at a time, and the feet are a little bit wider than your hip distance. So use the outer feet to really press out into the blocks. You can use those inner ankle bones. Your inner ankle bones go out. Rotate your inner knees back, your inner thighs back. Shift forward into the padding of your toes or the toe joints. Bend your elbows and push into your blocks. Push down into your blocks and use your hands to lift your inner legs. Use your hands to do that. Your elbows bend and your elbows tuck in towards your outer legs. That's it. Good. Now lift the legs. Don't bend the knees, guys. Let's stretch the inner knees up. Rotate your inner knees back. Relax your head a moment. Perfect. Great. And then let's inhale and look out in front here. You can straighten your elbows and then bring your hands to your hips and inhale the breath as you come up. Ah, very good. Very good. And I'm going to move my blocks to the side and I'm going to take revolve trikonasana. I'm going to use hands to the wall, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand in front of the wall. I want to bring the hands down low. So I want to spread the fingers, bring the hands low and tuck the elbows in, move the shoulders down. I'll step the right leg back. The left leg back and the right leg here. And then I'll draw, press into the foot. Keep watching, guys. Don't go with me. And I'll drag that outer right hip back. Do you see? And then I almost want to shift forward. Kind of let the elbows bend a little bit. So from here, I want to shift forward into the front of into this front foot. Release the left arm. Push into the wall. Draw the hip back. Look under the right armpit. Ah, feels great. Okay, so both of your hands against the wall. Spread your fingers. Tips of your elbows should move towards your mat. And then push the wall. Tuck your arms in. Push into the wall. Now, instead of just stepping straight back here, you'll leave your right leg forward and step your left leg back and then come into that halfway fold here. Come to that halfway fold there. And then from here, we're just dragging that outer right foot energetically back. Draw the hip back. Draw your right hip back. Separate your legs a little bit. Take your back leg back, Hannah. Lisa, your back leg can come up a little bit. Your back leg can come up and your front leg can go back some. There you go. Fold in half. Great, 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 Esther. You guys press your outer right foot heavier and then drag your outer right foot back. That's it. Now bend your elbows slightly and step forward into your right foot. Then release your left arm, grab your right ankle with your left hand. Push the wall with your right hand, straighten your right elbow, draw your right hip back, look under your right armpit. Good, good, great. And then exhale to release. Let's see let me see, watch. So a lot of instructions, but get here, right? And then we draw the hip back, and it said bend the elbows, right? A slight bend so that you've got the space to do this. Step forward. So you're almost reaching forward into this foot, then release. Once you release, push with the arm hand that's still at the wall. Look under the armpit. So you were trying to keep as much length as possible, okay? So hands to the wall once more. Elbows, tips of the elbows stretch down towards your mat. Left leg stays forward, step your right leg back, and then come to that half fold. Don't bend the elbows yet. If you can straighten the elbows, start with straight elbows. Draw your outer left foot into your mat and drag your outer left hip back. Drag your outer left hip back. Good, 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 good. Now, a slight bend of your elbow so that you can step into your upper left leg. That's it, Esther. Now, push the wall with your left hand, release your right hand, grab your left ankle with your right hand. You've got to keep pushing the wall. Look underneath your left armpit. Good, 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 good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then exhale, release. Perfect. A little bit more of a challenge. I'm going to put the left heel on the wall, step the right leg out in front. I'll come forward. So actually, I'll come here. I want to drag that hip back, bring the block outside of the right hip, the right ankle. I want to press, draw the hip back. Again, this hip shouldn't be here, but draw the hip back, press the wall, look to the right. Okay, so just the left heel bone is against the wall, and you can hold one block, and that block will be in your left hand. And then bring your right leg out. Go ahead and bring it out a little further than you're comfortable with. And then press into the wall with your left heel to move your left thigh bone back. Take your left arm up, blocks in the hand. Exhale, come forward, draw your right hip back. Bring just your block. Don't lean your torso. Bring just your block outside of your right ankle bone. Lean over to the left, but look to the right. Look to the right. And you'll want to draw your hip back. You'll want to keep pulling that right hip back. That's it. That's it. Guys, don't lean to the right. Move your weight over. That's great. Exhale, look down, come up. Perfect. That was perfect. 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 And everyone does that, but the tendency in this pose, there's a bunch of tendencies, but the main tendency is to move the torso out of alignment with the top of your head. So the main tendency is to do, instead of coming here and just moving the block and twisting the chest, most of the time what happens is when we come here, we go all the way with it. We go here. And then there's no way to turn to look to the opposite side. So what we're working is to keep the length here moving out through the top of your head. You're not twisting and moving your torso over. You're keeping it in line and you're moving your arm over. Do you see? And then extend and twist, lift the chest. Okay. So this time it's your right heel to the wall, left leg is forward, and really use your heel bone. Yeah, that's it. And then you can take your block, if you're going to use a block, you can take that block into your right hand. Come forward here, draw your left hip back. Now bring just the block. Don't lean the torso. Bring the right arm over. Don't lean. Don't let the torso go, just the arm. That's great. Now drag the outer hip back. Press with the right fingertips of the right hand. That's great, Esther. You guys drag your left hip back. Extend your chest, twist. Look to the left. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Use that right hand or right fingertips. Perfect. 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 And then exhale. Oh, look down, release. Excelente. Excelente. And I think that most of us have something that resembles a wall. So stay at the wall. And we hadn't done this one in a long time, but I'm going to bring a blanket to the back of the wall just for comfort, and I'm going to use my 2 blocks as well. I'll face away from the wall, 2 blocks in my hands, take the left shin, left foot up, drag the knee down, and I want to press the wall, not only with the knee, but with the shin and the foot. And then when I step the right foot up, guys, watch. I want to work to bring that right foot up to the chest. So watch. Put weight in your hands or in the blocks. Pull this right knee up. Do you see it comes up? And then press through the foot. And then from there, we'll lean forward. So in order to do that, you've got to put the weight in the hands, pull the right knee up to the chest, and then press the right foot to the mat. Okay, so start with that left leg. Let the foot take the knee up, and then you kind of slide the top of the foot and the left shin and the left knee down. You can use whatever propping you need for that left foot. But see that you can press that left front ankle, this part of your left foot, left front ankle. Now put weight in your hands and see if you can pull your right knee up to your chest and then place your right foot on the mat. You got to get weight in the hands. That's it. That's it. That's great. That's great. That's great. Weight in the hands. Now you'll walk your right foot forward and begin to move your bottom in and away from the wall. Move your bottom away from the wall. Chest is lifted, bottom is moving away. That's it, that's it. You guys, 1 more second. Press the wall, turn your outer left hip here in. Now, scoop the tailbone, so that means bring your sacrum and your tailbone down and begin to move yourselves back against the wall. So you've got to scoop the sacrum and scoop the tailbone in order to get your back against the wall. You've got to really make your buttock flesh longer. You can lift your left hip point up. Lift your left hip point up. Bring your bottom down. Draw your belly back. And then release. Perfect. And we'll switch. When done wall pigeon in a really long time. So. I don't think you're the only one. I think a few people missed it. I know. And so when you bring that right knee, I get weight in your hands and I lean forward, bring the right foot up, slide it down, press the wall. Now, again, you've got to have weight in the hands in order to bring that left foot up without it touching the mat until you place the foot on the mat. So you want to lean forward, put weight in your hands, and bring your left foot up, or left knee to the chest, place the foot. That's it, that's it. Now, your bottom needs to come away from the wall. So with your hands on your blocks, you'll move your pubic bone up, but you'll walk your foot forward. Lean, move your bottom away from the wall. Think of internal rotation. Press the foot. So if your ankle is away from the wall, see if you can press that front of your back ankle bone to the wall. To the wall. That's it. Move the buttocks away, guys. Go ahead and lean forward, do a back bend. Think of this. That's it, Lisa. Great. And then bring yourselves back against the wall. So remember, you have to really lengthen top of the buttocks towards the lower buttock. So you want to bring the anterior pelvis up, lift up, and bring the posterior pelvis down. Yeah. Great, 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 great. Great. And then exhale, release. Ah, very good, guys. Very, very good. And go ahead, and I'm going to come seated on the mat. Yeah, and I'm going to take one blanket in front of me. Actually, if you have a blanket, do the blanket. If you have blocks, let's do the blocks. You can even do both. You could do blanket and block. Let's make this really fun. And then I'm going to bring the left foot over, left outer foot, left outer ankle bone, left knee. I want to move the left hip back. Do you see that? Move the left hip back. Now you can come forward, leaving that right leg on the bottom. Actually, let's do that. So have some height, have some height, have some height more than normal. So I've got 2 blocks and a blanket over the top. If you just have 2 blocks, that's fine. But bring the left foot, and the height is making the difference. So bring the outer left foot and the outer left ankle bone to your prop. And then lean over to the right and bring your left outer hip and your left leg back. Now, keep your right leg on the mat, kind of like in a Sukhasana, on the mat, right leg. Draw your left hip back. You can use an L shape with your hand to draw it to the mat and then back, and then come forward. See if you can hook your backs of your arms against your left shin bone. Do a dorsiflex of your left foot and then come forward. So what I notice is that outer right rib wants to move up, and I want to keep turning that outer right rib down towards the inner left foot. Turn the outer rib. You're just doing one side, guys, but bring the outer rib down. Bring that outer back rib towards the front foot. Good, good. And then come up and we'll switch. So now I'm keep the left leg on the mat. Right outer foot, right outer knee, and then this hip is going forward. So I want to draw this hip back in L shape. Bring that hip down and then come forward. Now you've still got this bottom leg, which is your left leg, on the mat. But when you come forward, there's a tendency for that left side to move away. I want you to level your torso, rotate your back left rib, and it goes towards your inner right heel. Come forward. Come, and when you press with the backs of your arms, watch my side ribs. So drag the outer hip back, bring the outer hip down, move your side ribs forward. So move your side ribs forward, and you want to again bring that outer left rib down and towards the front foot. Perfect. Perfect. And then exhale, release, and come up. So you can repeat what we just did, or left side, right side. What's that dinging noise? Oh. And this is a big slant, right? Like this is not, well, actually, it's kind of giving me what some of us come into naturally, where my sitting bones are moving that way. So when I get my legs here, I want to lift up using my hands, and I want to drag my hips back and then come forward. So again, you'll start kind of like this, but lift up and go back. So all of this moves back. This outer hip, lift all the way up, guys. Get your bottom up, draw your outer hip, your bottom back, and lean your torso. So here, draw your hip back, and at the same time, bring your torso forward. You can bring your torso forward as you're coming over the top of your legs. So bring your bottom back. That's great, Diana. Great. Great. And then come up and we'll switch. Now, you can think of the seam, like the center, this inner seam of your pants. That inner seam should not be going this direction, but that inner seam, especially at the very top, when I come up, stretch back, lean forward. So think of this as almost like arching. Try to arch your back here in this as you come down. Try to arch your back as you come down. When you lift up, try to arch. That's it. That's it. Keep that little bit of arch. That's kind of like your sitting bones going up towards your low back. Yeah, your sits bones going up towards your low back. Great. Great, great, great. Remember the seam of the pants, the center seam or that inner seam of the pants at the top should touch the yoga mat. Yeah, that space that should roll down. Okay, great. And then come up. Perfect. Very good, guys. And then let's just move our props here to the side. And I'm going to come down on my mat. I've got my strap, but I'm going to start. I don't think we need a blanket. I was going to do a blanket under the head, but no, I'm just going to come down on my back, lift and tuck the sacrum, bring the knees up, arms out, take my knees to the left. I want to ground this outer right knee, twist to the right. So I've got to really lift that shoulder blade up, make sure both of my shoulder blades are moving away from my spine. So I want both of my shoulder blades to move away from my spine. So once I get my knees to the left, palms up, arms extended out. Now you get your knees to the left, bend both of your elbows, place the backs of your arms on the mat, lift your left shoulder blade up and take it to the left, and then twist to the right. So that left shoulder blade, you have to move it off of your mat and then reach it out to the left as far as you can. You can think of your breastbone, your sternum, and moving evenly towards the ceiling. And then go ahead and bring your knees here back to the center. And I'm going to take my knees over to the right. Let them come all the way down, bend both of my elbows, back to my arms on the mat, right shoulder blade up and to the right, twist to the left. Now, hold your outer left knee down and see if you can draw your outer left rib cage onto your mat. So you also want to roll that outer hip. That outer left hip rolls down away from your waist. Away from your side rib. Good, good, good. And then as you exhale, go ahead and bring your legs and knees back to the center. And I'll put my feet on the mat. I'm going to lift up again, tuck the sacrum and the tailbone. I'll take my arms out. This time, I'm going to take my knees. I'll lift my hips up, my bottom up, take it to the right. Then take my knees up towards my inner left elbow. Hold my knees against or away from the floor. And again, I want to really get that outer, y'all watch guys. So this is not, but this outer or shoulder, right shoulder blade, watch. It needs to come up and out, and you keep that grounding in the right side as your knees are held towards your inner left elbow. Your knees are held towards your inner left elbow. So let's start from the beginning. Come back to the center. Lift and tuck your sacrum and your tailbone. Bring your knees together, feet up, arms out with your palms up. Press the backs of your hands into your mat. Lift your bottom and take your hips, your feet to the right. Take your knees to the left. Move them up towards the inner left elbow. Hold them together. Hold them just a few inches from your yoga mat. You can look to your right. You can look to your right. Now exhale, bring your knees back to the center. Keep your feet lifted. Take your hips to the left, knees towards the right. Bring the knees towards the inner right elbow. You can look to the left. Hold the knees there. Move them towards the inner right elbow. Make sure your outer left hand is grounded. Your outer left rib cage grounded. Bring them back to the center. Lift the bottom, take the bottom to the right, swing the knees to the left. Bring the knees back, lift the bottom, take it to the left, take your knees, let them hover to the right. Bring the knees back to the center, lift the hips, take them to the right, knees to the left. Move your knees up, so your knees move up towards your inner elbow. Good, bring them back to the center and go again. Knees move over to the right, hips move opposite. Use that opposite elbow. Opposite hand, back of that hand grounds. Good, and you're holding the knees. You're not letting them rest. Bring them back to the center. Good, and you can bring your feet onto your mat. Perfect. Okay, same pose, except this time we straighten one of the knees. Watch. Same thing. So when I lift up here, I'm going to straighten the right knee, but I've got the knees together. The knees are together, but the right knee is straight. Take the arms out. Watch the hips. Lift up. Take your hips over to the right. This right foot, watch, swings towards the left hand. Look to the right. I'll come back up. Switch. Lift the hips. Take them over. Watch, this comes towards your hand. Goes towards your hand. You hold it right over the hand. Look opposite. Bring it up. Do you see? So when we start, come onto your mat. Bring your knees together. Lift your feet up. Go ahead and straighten your right knee and really engage your right foot. Keep your left knee bent, palms up, arms out. Now lift your bottom, take your hips to the right, swing your right foot towards your left hand. Right foot towards your left hand. Right foot towards your left hand, guys. Don't hold your foot. You're using your core. So you want to let the foot just kind of float over the hand. Draw the outer hip down. Bring the legs up. Straighten or bend the right knee, straighten the left, move your hips left, take your foot towards your right hand. You don't hold the foot, you just let it hover. Hover. Use your core here. Use your abdominals. Move your navel to the left. Move your belly button to the left. You can even look to the left. Now bring the legs up. Go one more time. Good. So we'll move the hips over and take that right foot, take that foot towards the hand, but twist opposite. Good, 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 good. Great, great, great. Bring it up to the center. Unbend the bent knee, bend the straight knee, go opposite. So again, towards the hand, hip rolls down. You can look opposite. Think about using that left outer arm. Great. Bring it back to the center. Perfect. Bend the knees. Feet can come down onto your mat. Perfect, guys. Let's just bring our soles of our feet together. Lift and tuck your sacrum. Bring your belly button towards your mat. Baddha Konasana. You can leave your arms extended out. bring your abdominal wall towards your mat. And go ahead and let's bring our knees together and our feet onto our mat. Again, grab your mat, lift and tuck your sacrum and your tailbone, lengthen this part. So there's no space here in your lower back, but really lengthen out. You can cross the outer right ankle bone over the top of the left knee. Go ahead and lift your left foot and interlace your fingers around the back of your left leg. You'll bend that right elbow and press that inner right knee out. This outer hip moves away from you. Outer right hip moves away. Go ahead and grab your outer right foot with your left hand. Grab your outer right knee with your right hand. Extend your left leg. Bring your left leg to your mat. You can lift your head and shoulders, and you're going to pull that inner right calf muscle or inner right shin in. Keep this at a 90-degree angle, guys. Go ahead and keep it at a 90 angle. And then lower your head and shoulders, bend your left knee. Go ahead and place that outer right ankle bone against the knee. Top of the left knee, bring the left foot down, switch sides. So when you start, you really want to keep that outer hip away. Outer, even if you need to L shape with your left hand, and see if you can draw that outer left hip towards your inner right heel bone. And then bring your right foot up, but keep your weight in your outer left foot. Interlace your fingers behind your right leg. You really got to get that outer left ankle bone to work. Draw it in, don't lift your bottom up. Now you can grab your outer left foot with your right hand. You can grab your outer left knee with your left hand. Bring your right leg down, lift your head and your shoulders. And you can pull that inner calf in towards your chest, not your knee. So you're not letting your knee rotate in, but you're keeping a big external rotation on that outer left hip. And then lower your head and shoulders, bend your right knee, release your left. You can bring both of your feet down. Wonderful. And again, we'll lift and we'll tuck the tailbone and the sacrum. Now, use a strap for this next one, or take it where you can. If you need a strap, it'll go around your right foot, but watch what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that same thing, cross. I'll bring this foot up. This time I'm going to see if I can lift the head up and maybe hooks this. I'm not going to go all the way behind the head, but I want to bend the right elbow and bring it behind the right leg and kind of press the right knee down towards the mat and lift the foot, just like that, right? So you start here, just like we did, but you can't, this won't work. So you've got to really get that length here. And when you grab here, lift up, and I went underneath, bent the elbow and pressed the knee towards the mat, and then let this foot come up. You don't have to go all the way behind the head, but we'll see if we can get the foot close to the head. Now, if you're using a strap, it would be you see, so I've got the strap and I still want to pull down. So you want to bend your right elbow and bring it to the back of that right leg, and then with your arm, draw the knee towards the mat, lift your head and your chest, and see if maybe that right foot can begin to go behind the head, or right knee to the mat. That's it, Esther. You can press with your right arm. Press with your right arm. That's it. Draw down with your right arm. Great, 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 great. Perfect. And then exhale, release. Excelente. Excellent. Perfecto. Magnifico. No, that's not a word. Magnificent. Magnificent. I don't know. I'll figure it out for the new year. Okay, here again and here. Remember? And you can always take this when you lift up, take that arm, left arm behind, draw the knee down, and then you've got more control with the foot. That right hand can come to your outer left foot. The right hand can come to your outer foot. So in reality, this foot goes behind your head. Keep that in mind, but you've got to really draw that left knee onto your mat. So if your knee goes to your mat, your foot gets closer. Yeah. Then use your core to lift up, bringing the head closer to the foot. Perfecto. Perfect. And then release. That was excellent, guys. Excelente. I'm going to go ahead and take my block and I'm going to do Setubandha Sarangasana. So you can use blankets underneath your shoulders if you want. You can use your block on the highest level or the lowest level, but you can lift up, open your hip points up towards your knees and then bring your block at your sacrum. Make sure to roll your arms back and down and use your feet, really get your feet to work here. So watch, if you can see, you don't want your knees to rotate out, but you want to use your entire foot, inner and outer foot, and you want to really move your inner thighs and your inner knees down. And that can be really tight, a tight area for a lot of us. You can also lightly interlace your fingers around your block and kind of rotate the upper outer arms to your mat. But use your feet, guys, so your feet shouldn't half press, but even if your knees are straight, you want your entire foot pressing into your mat. It's the same with your arches. The arches of your feet, as the four corners of your feet press, the arches of your feet lift up. So your arches move up. Your inner ankle bones draw up. So there's still a lifting. Your shin bones move down or back. So if your knees are straight, your shin bones move towards the mat. If your knees are bent, your shin bones tuck back towards your block. Good, 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 good. Perfect. And then go ahead, guys, if your knees are straight, go ahead and bend your knees. And we'll press through our feet. Let's see if we could lift our hips with our feet pressing. Bring your block down. And when you come down one vertebra at a time. And again, I'm against the mat. There's no space against the lower or at the lower back. I'm gonna kind of pull into the mat, get even more length as the mat pulls the clothing towards the feet. And then you can come up or you could stay as you are for Urdhva Dhanurasana. So for me, I'm going to come up and use my 2 blocks to the wall and we'll do 2 Urdhva Dhanurasana. So if you don't need the wall or you don't need blocks, fine, you can stay on your mat. If you know that you're just at the beginning stages and you're not even able to really press all the way up, let's work on pressing the feet and watch the hands, spreading the fingers and pressing through your hands here. So this seems like nothing, but it's actually a lot of work, right? So just coming hands over, tucking the elbows in, pressing the feet, even if you don't go all the way on top of your head, but push and lift your hips just to get the practice of weight in your hands and weight in your feet. Good, 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 good. Do 2 back bends, Urdhva Dhanurasana. If that's not in your practice, place your hands over your shoulders, place your feet firmly on the mat, and simply push. Even if you don't come all the way up, just press. Urdhva Dhanurasana. If you've done 2 Urdhva Dhanurasanas, we've made 2 attempts. You can go ahead and just remain grounded on your mat. Now pull your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your knees. You can, any movements there to release the back. And then everyone, wherever you are, let's go ahead and come seated. So you can, if you're here, you can just kind of roll up, roll forward, grab the outer feet, the heels of the feet, or bring a strap to the feet here for Paschimottanasana. So for this Pashi, since we're using it to release our backs from Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can have a little bit of a rounding in your spine to move opposite of our full back bends that we just did. Just a few moments here. You can use something to support your forehead if you'd like. But you just want to take a few deep breaths here. And then very slowly, you can bring yourselves up with your exhalation. Good. And then we'll prepare for our inversion. So you could do headstand, handstand, Pincha Mayurasana, which is the forearm balance. You could do legs up the wall if you'd like to. If you're not inverting today, you could do Karmasana or any of the other seated bowls, Upavista Konasana. So if you're not inverting today, Upavista would be here. Karmasana would be a little bit closer in here. So if you're doing Shirsasana, guys, you want to interlace your fingers so your fingers face you, and then really get a nice, firm, comfortable grip of the back of your head. And I didn't say this, but you can also use your legs against the sofa or in a chair or on the edge of the bed or whatever is comfortable for you. Those of you in headstand, you want to really feel the weight from the pinky sides of your hands all the way to the tips of your elbows. So check that you are really pressing that area down. And then you would relax your legs some. And you want to get that feel that your hips have moved right over your shoulders. And you can tell that by you get a little more weight in your elbows. Those of you in headstand, you guys can come down and make your way to release your neck. Those of you who are legs up the wall, go ahead and stay there for a few moments. You can come any position to rest. Child's pose, seated forward fold. You can remain in legs up the wall, but just take a few more moments here. And then guys, go ahead and make your way up or out of whatever pose that you were in. So if your legs up the wall, you can slowly come out of legs up the wall. Bending the knees, rolling over to the right and coming up. And y'all know that we'll do Supta Padangusthasana, but I think I'm going to do a pose called Mahamudra. I'm going to do Mahamudra before, and it's all about the breathing Mahamudra. So we start, and you can use a strap, or you'll use the first two fingers of both of your hands. So I'm going to bend the right knee out, and in Mahamudra, we're not folding. So you keep the length in the spine, and you keep your elbows straight, and you keep this. So you never go here in Mahamudra. So I've connected. You guys watch for a moment. Just watch. So the Mahamudra will be an inhale as you gaze up, but just watch. So it's all about pulling the breath from the perineum all the way up through the crown of the head. You're engaging all three bandhas. So you're engaging the Mula Bandha, you're engaging the belly button bandha, the Uddiyana bandha, and you're engaging your chin lock. So you're engaging all three of your bandha locks as you keep your spine nice and long for Mahamudra. If you need to use a strap because you can't catch your big toe, you would wrap the strap just around the big toe and you'd hold your strap like this. Never here, always here, using the side ribs up. And then once you catch your toe, guys, we'll face the left foot. Your gaze faces the left foot. And we'll inhale the breath and take our gaze up. Exhale your breath, bring your chin to the groove of your neck. Don't round your spine. Inhale your breath, inhale, inhale, inhale. Move your shoulders up around your ears. Keep inhaling, hold your inhale. Exhale, center your gaze, bring the tops of your shoulders down. One more time, same side. Inhale, take the gaze up. Exhale, bring the chin down. Inhale from the perineum up through the belly button, up through the chin, through the crown of the head. Pull the shoulders up. Hold the inhalation. Exhale, shoulders down, gaze centered. And then switch sides. So you'll straighten your right knee, bend your left big toe with first two fingers of both hands. Again, we never do Mahamudra like this because it's all about the breath. So you're continue to move up through the spine as you're practicing Mahamudra. So inhale, take the gaze up. Exhale through the nose, bring your chin down, not your shoulders, just your chin. Inhale, 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 pull your shoulders up around your ears as you inhale, hold your inhalation. Exhale, shoulders down, center the gaze. Great. One more time. Inhale, take the gaze up. Exhale, bring the chin to the groove of the neck. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Keep inhaling. Shoulders go around the ears. They squeeze the ears. Exhale, shoulders down, center the gaze. Perfect. Perfect. And then release. Great, great, great. You can stretch both of your legs out, guys. Keep your straps. Let's grab our blocks too. And I'm going to come reclined on the mat. And then I'll extend the knees and press the feet into the wall. I want to I don't want to arch. So I want to get that length in the lower back. My block will go right outside of my right hip. I'll bend my right knee, press really firmly with your left foot. Take your right foot up, right leg up. And then let's go ahead and instead of this, because this is typically kind of how we start and we can't really see where our leg is, but you can see my leg and you can see that my outer ankle bone is not lined up with my outer hip. So I want to move this back so that I get a nice straight line from the outer ankle bone to the outer hip joint. and then press into the strap with your inner foot, and you really press up like you're pressing your gas pedal, and move your thigh bone back so your right femur bone goes towards your left foot. And then reach up, grab with your right hand. Let's go ahead and turn our right toes right, turn your right knee right, take your right leg out to the right. You go up and over that block, and then bend your elbow, your right elbow, and bring the back of your right arm down. Now, ground your outer left hip, bring the back of your left leg to your mat. Bring your right leg up, switch the hand that holds your strap, take your right leg to the left. When you do that, I want you to look to the right and see if you can twist your navel to the right. Bend your left elbow, but keep moving your belly button and that abdominal flesh to the right. Great. Bring it up to the center, bend the knee, and we'll switch sides. So you'll release the right foot, move your block over to the left, and then you always want to check that you're not arching your back. So these are stomach churning poses is what the Iyengars call them, but they're classified in abdominal strengthening. This is an abdominal strengthening pose. So when you do this, you want to make sure that you've got that grounding coming from the core. Press the right foot into the wall, bring your strap around the left foot, press up, and then try to line that leg up, remember? So we want to move the leg back some so that we have some space in our outer hip. Now reach up, grab your strap with your left hand, turn your left toes to the left, and you can even use your right hand to kind of rotate that left knee to the left. And then take your left leg out to the left. Now, what I want to do is I want to ground that right side. And when you do that, you feel the space between your two hip points increase. So when you ground your outer right leg, your outer right knee, your outer right hip, and your outer right rib cage, you feel the space increase between your two hip points. And then bring your left leg up and take it over. And it'll go over in the opposite direction. So you'll switch the hand that's holding the strap. Let's really press that outer right heel into the wall. And you can really here, you can look to your left, and you do want to really kind of move your abdominal flesh to the left. To the left, as that left leg goes to the right. Straighten your knee, really straighten your knee, and use your hand to your strap. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. And then go ahead and let's bring this back to the center. And then we'll exhale, release. Bend the knee. Go ahead and press your feet to the wall for a moment. And you want to really ground your lower back. So lift your bottom. Actually, bend your knees, put your feet on the mat, lift up, tuck your sacrum and your tailbone, bringing your lower back against your yoga mat. Great, great, great. Now, one more fire log, and I know we've been doing a lot of this, but it's fun. So I'm going to cross the right outer ankle bone over the left. Y'all watch for a moment. So this can't be the case. You've got to, if you need to use an L shape, watch. Just watch me, guys. You can L shape and really draw that hip down like that. I'm going to lift the left foot. Just keep watching. And without using the hands, I'm going to keep turning that inner left heel and inner left knee in. So it gets really tough. I'll do that 3 times. And then on the 4th time, I'll reach out with my right. I'm not going to go like this, but I want to keep this back and then pull that inner foot in. Then I can use both hands. So you may only get here. Watch. Just do that a few times. Turn in, bring it back. Turn in, bring it back. And then on that fourth time, you try to grab. But if you pull your knees in to your chest, it is easy to grab, but your hips have lost space. So you're trying to keep that space. So if you can never grab your foot, then don't. Just keep seeing if you can rotate it in, and you'll feel that outer hip, left hip working. Yeah, that's it. Just rotate it in. Even if you can never grab it, you want to see how close that inner foot will come to the outer knee. Good, guys. If you never grab that back foot, that's perfectly fine. I think really an important part of this, or a more important factor, is that we just are able to use that rotation. And then go to your other side. If you did that side, maybe you never grabbed, but still you can be here. And when you get here, just practicing this. Some of us, depending how flexible this outer hip is, you may be able to pull it all the way in without grabbing with your left hand. So it depends on the flexibility of that outer right hip. Yeah, you may be able, and then on your fourth time, you'll attempt to pull it in without lifting your bottom up. And if you can't catch the foot, that's fine. And then you guys can exhale to release. Very good. And I'm going to stay on the mat, both knees bent, lift, tuck the sacrum. I'm going to bring the right knee in, kind of pull it out. It's like a half of a upside down happy baby. Child's pose. So let the right knee come out, relax the right foot. You're holding at your shin, guys, watch. So not happy baby, but child's pose. So like a child's pose on your back. So you hold right below your right knee. Then you just draw your inner knee towards your outer rib. And relax your right foot. And then switch. I'll release the right and bend the left and draw out to the side. And then I'll release the left. And then I'll put both feet on the mat for a moment. Then I'll bring the big toes together, feet up. And I'll grab below both of my knees. And now here's the full upside down or reverse child's pose. Right? So you don't lift your bottom. You don't roll in here, but you just draw down. Just like you're on your mat, doing it face forward on your mat. And then exhale, you can bring the knees together, release the legs, and prepare for Shavasana. So if you want to just let your legs extend out, take your arms out, palms up, you can do that. Or if you want to roll over to your right and come up and take legs up the wall, you're welcome to do that. Or however you would like to take Shavasana, just make yourselves comfortable. You can use a blanket behind the back of the head if you'd like. Or nothing. You don't have to use anything. You could just come lying on your mat or even on the floor. You can still elevate your legs for Shavasana, meaning in the back of a chair or along the back of the sofa or along the bed or anything like that, or rolling blankets up underneath the backs of your knees. But when you get into your Shavasana space here, take your arms out with the palms of your hands up. With an exhalation of the breath, close the eyes and allow heaviness to move into the entire body, every muscle and every bone, every organ in your body. And this heaviness is achieved through relaxation. So this isn't something that can be forced. So as you close your eyes, maybe have the sensation of melting, or kind of the back of the center of the head spreading into the mat and the eyeballs slowly moving away from the eyelids. Relax the upper and the lower jawbone and allow your tongue to relax. Begin to deepen your breath. Slowly move your awareness back into the room. Small movements in the fingers and in the toes when you're ready. Bend your elbows, bring your hands to your belly or to your heart. Stretch the arms up and over your head, full body stretch. You want to bring the abdominal wall towards the mat, and then with an exhalation, release the arms to the side body. You can bend your knees one knee at a time. Bring your feet to the mat, the floor, the wall. Bring your knees into the chest here and wrap the arms around the knees in any movements. Side to side or front to back, and then roll over to the right and hold in a fetal position. And then with an exhalation of the breath, bring yourselves up any seated position that you would like. Hands can come to your heart center, or maybe thumbs to the third eye, or hands just resting at the top of the legs. And then this paragraph from this book. That said, who's right or what's right for me won't necessarily be right for you. We're all one, but at the same time, we're each beautifully different. And from my experience, our yoga practice helps us develop the sensitivity, the intuition to find our sagha, those whose truth we share, those with compatible charts. At the same time, as the Bhagavad Gita teaches, years of yoga practice also helps us move beyond our individual likes and dislikes. Ultimately, we reach a place where we can accept, appreciate, and welcome the diversity within the whole to which we each belong. Thank you guys very much. Namaste.